Is Xbox giving up on this feature? Let's get the PlayStation perspective on the Xbox tax. This publisher says no to an Xbox acquisition. And what is going on with Baldur's Gate 3 and Ark Survival Ascended? Let's discuss. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the weekend edition of Xbox Ready, where I team up with Mr. Jimmy Champagne, the dude who runs Deck Ready, PS Ready, and the eponymous YouTube channel Jimmy Champagne, where we talk about all the stuff going on in the world of Xbox. We share it with you to make sure you guys are as Xbox ready as we are. So today we're going to be talking about a new partnership that PC Game Pass has going on. We're going to get Jimmy's thoughts on the Xbox tax and Xbox first party snubs at the Game Awards. I got exciting news for Baldur's Gate 3 fans as well. Xbox, unfortunately, is not going to be acquiring this publisher for anyone who was hoping for it, so we'll discuss it as well. And what is going on with Studio Wildcard and Ark Survival Ascended, the Xbox version? Jim, you already had like a crazy morning with like securing the special edition, the limited edition Deck Ready, the Steam Deck, sorry.
So stupid. They set rules in place, right? Like they said, okay, if you want the limited edition Steam Deck OLED, your Steam account has to have made a purchase before November 2023. So I'm like, okay, I mean, that's like 95% of Steam accounts, but that would get rid of like scalpers theoretically. Still, after the last time they launched a Steam Deck and this same thing happened, they let the Steam store crash. So I go to put the limited one in my cart. It gets added in my cart. I click purchase for myself. I get to the shipping screen where I type in my address, and then it's like, I can't get through. So then Steam themselves tweet out. They're like, hey, sorry for the issues. We're working on it. They don't update. They don't ever say that the issues are resolved. So I go and eventually I get through to the payment screen and it's like, oh, can't complete this purchase because the item you're trying to get is out of stock. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's pretty typical for these scenarios. So I go to buy a 1 terabyte just regular Steam Deck OLED because I don't want to go through the trouble of moving SSDs around this time. It's like, oh, that's sold out. I'm like, okay, cool. So then I go to the 512 gig one and it's like, you've been trying to make too many purchases. Try again in a while. So I Google that and it's like 3 hours. You can try again. And I'm like, damn. So I make a new Steam account. Then I get a 512 gig. I think this saga is over. I see on Twitter, Bob Wolf, the Wolf Den, is like, I just got his limited edition. So I go back to my OG Steam account. I try to get a limited. It's like the first time it says you've been trying to make too many purchases, then it goes through. So then I canceled the other one and I got the OLED limited edition. And then it came back in stock and was going from like 1 to 2 weeks when you would get it to 2 to 4. So I hope I'm in the like 3 to 5 day range to get it because I'm excited. But I got the see-through black and orange accent one and I'm very excited.
Hell yeah, it looks clean. It looks clean. Like, is there ever going to be a console launch or like hardware release that isn't a hot mess, like through any platform?
No, just never going to work out.
It's just
ever,
not,
period.
like, no lessons are learned. It's just always going to be crazy. Terrible segue. I don't know how. Like, usually I think I'm pretty smooth at it. But let's just get right into it. So Xbox has this partnership with NVIDIA where they actually announced it back in June where they were going to be teaming up with GeForce Now. And for those of you who are not aware, that is NVIDIA's cloud streaming service. So for Xbox cloud gaming, you basically stream from an Xbox Series X somewhere in the country or the world, and it's beamed directly into your laptop or your phone or whatever. The GeForce version of that is you're essentially doing the same thing, except instead of an Xbox, it is like a 4080 rig or something like that. So GeForce Now has this update that lets you sync your PC Game Pass library to their service, allowing you to stream any game that's on the PC Game Pass library through GeForce Now. Just a lot of people are gonna be saying like, why would I do that? Because PC Game Pass games, you can stream them through Xbox Cloud Gaming. And now I can't personally attest to this because I've never used GeForce Now, but from everything that I read, on Reddit and videos that I see, it seems to be that GeForce Now is the superior streaming gaming service compared to Xbox Cloud Gaming. That just seems to be like the general consensus amongst the community. I don't know if there's like any Xbox Cloud Gaming stands out there or purists. I don't know, but it seems to be that GeForce Now has got him beat. Jim, I know you're not really like a cloud game streaming dude. Every time we talk about it, you're just like shaking your damn head. I feel like this is a trend that you would rather leave behind. What are your thoughts on this?
GeForce Now is the only one that actually works right in my experience, except for the Vitcher glasses. The Vitcher glasses can stream games from my PS5 perfectly. I don't know why. It's
shout
very
out
bizarre,
to Vitcher.
But yeah, shout out to Vitcher. GeForce Now is cool because like what Ray is saying, it allows you to connect to a desktop PC and log into your Steam account and play any games that you already own that are supported. That layer where it's like, if the game is supported is what sucks, but now you have the Xbox app included, which is cool. I like that because of this whole Activision situation, they effectively had to make a competing service better with GeForce Now. They had to say, well, we'll allow the Xbox app to work on there. I was hoping that Valve would get a benefit here and Xbox would let them have an Xbox app finally, but it seems like that's never gonna happen. But Valve said they have a great relationship with Xbox. They've been trying to make it better, like with being able to stream to the Steam Deck. And they were like, yeah, we have a great relationship with Microsoft. So Phil, Jeff, any of our friends at Xbox, if you're watching, please let us have the Game Pass app on the Steam Deck so we can not use Steam. Isn't that what you want?
I feel
Wouldn't that be great?
I feel like you went on a rant about this to Phil Spencer's face. I
did. I got a non-satisfactory answer. I got a very coy CEO style answer where he was like, yeah, well, can't you just stream the games? And I'm like, I could.
You're like, no.
But I could also stream them to my Xbox or my phone or any other device. When I'm on the Steam Deck, I want to play my PC games. And he was like, I'll take that into account. Yeah. I'll see what I can do. And I was like, all right.
That is a cool distinction of GeForce Now versus cloud gaming, streaming games that you own, because on Xbox, you can only stream the games that are in the Game Pass Ultimate library. And if you were to buy a game that is not in that library, like Elden Ring or many other games, you wouldn't be able to stream them. And that's something that they said they were going to bring to cloud gaming for a while now, and we just haven't seen any progress on it yet. It seems to be like cloud gaming, they were really gung-ho about it for the first couple of years, and now they're just kind of like, ever since that CMA kind of denial over cloud streaming rights for Call of Duty, Xbox is going to be too powerful if they own the sole streaming rights for the Call of Duty franchise, it seems like they're kind of backing off a little bit. Or do you think like they are content to just kind of outsource cloud streaming to someone like GeForce Now or other competitors?
I think so. It really feels like something that they were focusing on because they didn't know at the time that they were going to put all first-party games on Game Pass, that they were going to get all these big studios like Bethesda and Activision and actually have games to regularly like put on Game Pass. And they were like, shoot, we need something that like is an added benefit to Game Pass streaming. We've been working on this cloud streaming thing, so like, let's just throw that in there. And now they're like, oh, we built out our library. We're seeing that people like to download games. Streaming technology just isn't there, so they're pivoting away. And I'm fine with that. Personally, I think that's a good move because it was just like, it seemed like a waste of marketing money, right? Where Xbox, we constantly criticize them for not marketing a lot of the great games that come to Game Pass. So if they are taking some of the funds away from marketing cloud streaming, I would hope that they kind of divert those funds back into advertising like the indie games and the cool stuff that kind of slips under people's radar right now.
Like even just looking more into GeForce Now and comparing it to Xbox, I mean, Xbox, it'd be hard for them to compete, right? Like on the highest membership tier for GeForce Now, you can get like up to 120 FPS, up to 4K, which is just not something that Xbox, I don't think, can match, at least not now or in the near future. So I
There's
feel
some like connection too if you have an NVIDIA card where it gets like decompressed by your hardware, so you get accelerated streaming or something. I don't know if it's all BS. I went to a marketing thing for this when it was announced at CES with my old boss Austin Evans, and this was like right when it came out, and we did a random ass like news video on it for his channel, and it was like a 1.5 million view video overnight. So I'll never forget how big of a deal this was right when it came out.
That's pretty good. It seems like their partnership, Xbox and Nvidia, they're growing closer. I'm even seeing like in their top tier bundle for GeForce Now, they'll give you 3 months of Game Pass. So I mean, we're kind of seeing some interesting ramifications for this Activision Blizzard acquisition, like Jimmy was saying. Like they're forced essentially to make these other platforms better so they can still retain the rights to some of these big juggernaut IP that they just got through the acquisition. So it's kind of cool. It's like an unforeseen ripples that I wasn't quite expecting.
The timing is so bad with Modern Warfare 3. Did you see the Steam charts? They did not get anywhere close to the launch of Modern Warfare 2.
It seems like they
in Halo, dude.
I was about to say, like, maybe it's hard to get into Modern Warfare 3 because, well, all the stuff going on with it, but like I was playing the like Halo 3 like Mountain Dew maps yesterday, and it's so fun. Like it really is a ton of fun.
The Mountain Dew map is the map from hell. It's like
because you have to capture the hills in the middle, but on the outside people just snipe the crap out of you, dude. There's no cover.
Little towers all over where people could just shoot down at you. And they added in that free 20 rank battle pass that's like, it has cool armor in it. I leveled that up to like level 13 in a day. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Halo Infinite again. I'm playing it again. I was playing it just yesterday. So if you see me online playing Halo Infinite, hit me up because I'll jump into a game with you. Speaking of Halo Infinite, I am very upset that it didn't get nominated for Best Ongoing Game at the Game Awards, and that's my segue for this new topic.
What? That's crazy. Because the timing was just like not in its favor, I guess, because it came up right before the voting started.
I was like, season 5 is dope. It's like season 5 is actually dope. There's still some, expensive cosmetics and skins and stuff like that, and armor.
Dude, I totally bought the Halo 1 armor. I was like, I need that.
You're like, I need that original
and it comes with
armor,
the matte
bro,
black shader or whatever. Like, I don't know what it's called. Like, color scheme.
Yeah,
so you can be matte black on everything with carbon fiber accents. I was like, I'm in. You got my $20. I've spent $0 on that game, so I'm $20 in the hole. I think that's fair for how much time I've gotten out of it.
I buy the battle pass and then I unlock through there. But then now I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have missed the other seasons because now I can't like get certain things. But they'll bring it back in like a rotation, I'm sure. But there's been a lot of discussion about the Game Awards and Xbox's presence or lack thereof in the nominations. I saw Xbox tax trending a week or two back when the nominations were announced. To a lot of people's surprise or not surprise, depending on how you feel about the game, Starfield was not nominated for Game of the Year. Put on your PlayStation Ready hat, your PS Ready hat, and give us like your perspective, because obviously once again Nintendo and Sony nominated for Game of the Year, their first party games, but Xbox not. What are your thoughts?
I feel like the one that got the most snubbed was Hi-Fi Rush. Like Starfield, every game, I don't know. I feel like Starfield kind of deserves to be there, but I also get why it's not. The one that I was kind of bummed about was Final Fantasy 16 not being on there, while Spider-Man 2 is, because Final Fantasy I feel like did a lot more new and was like, trying to push things forward in a way that Spider-Man wasn't. But there's just too many great, amazing games, and Starfield had a rocky launch. It still has performance problems. They're slow on the updates. They don't talk enough. They don't say what they're working on. They don't get people excited about it. So I can kind of see
like, ooh, an eat button. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like eating food doesn't do anything anyways. Who cares? And then, Baldur's Gate came out so close to it. Baldur's Gate had that big hype moment. There's just a direct comparison point with that RPG where it makes sense. The Xbox tax thing I think is fake just because it's just bad timing, right? Like they're focusing on getting games out in general. So it's not like they're trying to time it around like, oh, well, if we drop Starfield, October 15th, then we'll guaranteed get a nom at the Game Awards, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's so low priority for them, and rightfully so. Who cares? Like, no one's ever going like, oh, did you see this game won Game of the Year at the Game Awards? Like, it's fun to watch for the reveals and everything, but I feel like it's the same reverence as the Oscars, where who really gives a at the end
but
of the day.
But it's like, people care if the games they like are nominated or win, and they say that it sucks if the opposite, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like, they weaponize it in order to fit like whatever fanboy sect that they belong to, right? But ultimately, it's like, it's a fun time, and I'm gonna be there again at the Game Awards. And I enjoy like the togetherness of it, like coming together and like just looking back on the year. Like, this year was stacked, man. Like, it's crazy to think the games that came out this year, it almost feels like it didn't happen. Like, it's crazy that it went by that quick, and it's crazy that I'm like, damn, Hi-Fi Rush also came out this year too. That was like way at the beginning back in January. The only other category I think Starfield should have been nominated for is Best Soundtrack.
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
Shit,
that wasn't
was
in there. And like art direction, I think could have been an easy nom for that.
I'm not like too upset that Starfield isn't nominated, because I'm like, while I do enjoy it, I think that's fair. But I think next year Xbox does have some prime candidates for Game of the Year, especially with Hellblade 2 coming out, because that's going to be like that, narrative action, like artsy game. We're on this Game Award train, so let's keep it going. We got good news as Xbox fans and fans of Baldur's Gate 3 from Larian themselves, and they were like, yo, we got all these awards, hell yeah. They like reposted all their nominations on Twitter, and they were like, oh, and also fans of Xbox and fans of physical media, stay tuned, because we got some good news coming up from you. And it seems like Baldur's Gate 3, they're gonna reveal the release date at the Game Awards.
I want to play this game very badly, but I really want to play it on my Steam Deck, and they just need a couple more patches, I think, and then I'll be ready to play it. But yeah, this is crazy. This game is like the runaway success of the year. I saw a lot of people thinking Alan Wake 2 might take over, but Alan Wake 2 is niche appeal plus performance issues out the ass, so I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 could really take it.
But then a lot of people are saying that Baldur's Gate 3 released in 2020, like those early builds and stuff, and then didn't have its official release until this year. So that it shouldn't technically be. Same thing, I'm sure you've heard people saying that RE4 shouldn't be nominated for Game of the Year either. It has a remake.
That's Game of the Year for me. That's the best. that game is so good. It's like so different from the original.
But yeah, this is perfect for Baldur's Gate 3, because then like if they sweep or win a lot of awards, they can be like, oh yeah, and a bunch of new people can buy the game on Xbox. Here's when you can do it. Here, like, pre-orders are open. It could be like a pretty like awesome marketing bump for them, for sure.
That'd be a no-brainer, like out now, like it can't be that crazy to port it. And that's a good Christmas time game. I'm stuck. I want to play a big RPG over like Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm 50-50 between Tears of the Kingdom and going back to Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know what to do, but yeah, Baldur's Gate would be a good one as well.
Baldur's Gate, I'm interested because like it just doesn't seem like your kind of game. You know what I mean? Like I have a pre-existing interest in Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm like, there's too much talking. The combat is turn-based, which is slow. I'm like, it's too much thinking. Like when I'm at the end of the day, I want to like shoot things with a gun.
But yeah, let's move off of the Game Awards for a sec. Obviously, Xbox, Microsoft making headlines for the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard. A lot of people, when I went to BlizzCon, I talked to a lot of longtime fans of Blizzard. They were widely optimistic about the acquisition. I even talked to some former employees of Activision that were also very optimistic about it as well. So
can't get much worse.
They're like, yeah, like I'm down for it. Xbox has long been linked to another acquisition target, Sega, and it seems like the relationship over the past couple of years has greatly improved. Like a lot of Sega published games on Game Pass available day one as well.
Yeah.
But so a lot of people are like, I don't know, like Xbox wants to expand their reach into Japan, and so buying Sega would make a lot of sense for them to like connect with that market. But Sega says no, that they're honored, but no, they're not available. They're not for sale, not for Xbox and not for anyone else.
They're at their peak right now.
You think Sega's at their peak?
Yeah. I mean, like, I would care more if Sega made games I played, but like, you know, they put out that Sonic Frontiers game this year that was apparently pretty good. They got 2 Yakuza games out right now. They're working on their Super game. It doesn't feel like the right time, right? Like, you want to get bought when you're in the middle, like when you're on the rise, like Bethesda did, where they put a bunch of microtransactions and everything and made everything online only, and then they looked like they had good market valuation, and then they got bought.
Yeah, I don't think that a publisher is on the table for Xbox, at least not this generation, right? Because like you can't buy Activision Blizzard and then buy another publisher. Like maybe they'll acquire some other studios, maybe, I don't know, but a full-on publisher, especially the size of Sega, I don't think it's very likely. A lot of people have been talking about, oh, like Sony's gonna strike back. Like Xbox buys Activision Blizzard, Sony's gonna buy Take-Two, or like someone create like a big publisher like that.
I wish Sony would buy a first-person shooter developer. Pretty one note over here lately, but yeah, I like
this dude really wants
GTA
to
now is such a bad move just because they could totally screw up GTA 6, right? Like it could be the same situation that Microsoft is in, where they just bought Activision, and then Modern Warfare 3 is like by far the worst rated and selling Call of Duty in a long time, you know? I got that game for free and I was like, I'll play something else. Like I can't even get into it.
Modern Warfare 2 is baked into the launcher for console on Modern Warfare 3 anyway, so it's like, why just like skip?
Yeah, why didn't you make it an expansion like you originally wanted to? If they, like Xbox makes them able to change the anti-cheat so that Warzone and Modern Warfare 3's like regular multiplayer work on Steam Deck, then I feel like they'll get a lot more sales.
And yeah, speaking of games that are just like, what's going on? Like you're just questioning every decision behind that game and its release. Ark Survival Ascended, the Xbox version, is still not out yet.
Oh my
it's
god.
It's gotten delayed again. This is the 3rd time that it's been delayed. And now they don't even have like a date on it. They said that when they submitted their final build, there were some issues with the certification. And so they're going to have to go back and work on it some more. I'm like,
they gotta learn the phrase over at the Ark developer, you don't where you eat, right? Like Microsoft gave them so much money, I would guess, to get Ark 2, Vin Diesel Simulator exclusive, and they're dogging Xbox right now. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Wise.
It's like, it's just like
not wise.
So typical, because you know we've seen Sony and PlayStation work out these third-party exclusives and stuff, and it works out. Like usually, I would say like 9 times out of 10, it works out great for them. And even if it's like Xbox games like Deathloop and games like those. But when Xbox does it, it's like a spectacular, like if something goes wrong and they secured like the timed exclusivity for Ark 2, and they have this partnership with like, you know, bringing Survival Ascended to Xbox, and it's like, it's just not working out. Like
this developer reminds me of that meme that's like works cited crack pipe. Like when they're like, this game's coming out in 2022 within a year of being announced. We're excited. Crack pipe.
Yeah, and Ark 2 is probably not going to come out until like 2025, 2026. And like they're making people upgrade. They're cutting support for the base version of Ark and making people upgrade, and they can't even get the upgrade right. Like there's so many things going on with Wildcard that I'm like, what is happening, bro? Why?
They're a true studio of Wildcard releases.
That is true. They're like, hey, bro, it's in the name. I don't know what else you expect when dealing with
Diesel. He's gone.
He's got like, yeah, he's gonna already have done like 3 more Fast and the Furious movies by the time this freaking game comes out. But yeah, guys, that's all the stuff that we have to talk about today. All the Xbox stuff. Check out my video about Black Friday that we did. All the like cool Black Friday deals that are out for Xbox stuff. And make sure you are prepared because it can get kind of crazy, like Jimmy was saying earlier, with his Steam Deck and like trying to get that ordered and stuff and all the things that he had to go through. So make sure you prepare yourself, map out where you're gonna get this holiday season. And we'll see you in the next one.